be it a 2-week release or a month release, when it comes to defining a scope. I think initially when I asked you about what a software delivery is, it's you are delivering something, but that something cannot be vague, right? That something has to be very clear. I'm asking that question because in service-based agencies or teams who are delivering something for someone, or it can be someone's product, but the team who is delivering it, they need to understand the scope. That's why your business analyst or the specialists are there to gather the requirement. So how important or how difficult it is to lock that scope, to have that definition of done or acceptance criteria or whatever you call it, how to ensure that, because I have seen so many conflicts happening around that. Even at one code we are facing that. We were discussing prior to this podcast when we started about this as well. So I want you to tell our audience how to overcome this challenge of locking the scope.
I think that's the very crucial part and a very significant part where we need to put a lot of effort to make sure that, all of the stakeholders are on the same page. Because sometimes you come across with certain people who are very technical, they overall understand what they actually need. But for some people, they're not much technical. They'll come to you and they'll define the overall business requirement, like this is what they actually need. Then we have to drive this whole process with them. Okay, you requested this and this will involve these particular features. So if you agree with that or not. So they also need to brainstorm at their side, like what they requested, it will involve these things. And sometimes you have to work with them to let them know, okay, this is what you have actually requested, because they're not much technical folks. So in that case, I think especially in the second case where the clients or the customers are not very much technical or have not much idea like what exactly they need, it is really important, because if they're not much aware, then later if the scope and the requirements are not enlisted, then they'll come up with certain enhancement request and
and I think
change
that's
request.
where the conflicts are happening.
Yes.
Right, because they are coming to you, okay, we put this thing, we asked for this thing, but you are not delivering that thing.
Yeah.
And we are saying, no, this wasn't agreed upon, right? This is something you are asking now because our understanding was different.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. So for that, I think we need to make sure that all of the requirements should be enlisted and, in any tool where you guys are jotting down the overall requirements and the acceptance criteria and the definition of done should be there, so that you can get a sign off from the client that okay, this is what you are expecting, and the relevant stakeholders can also review it from that perspective, like the developers and the QA, so that they can also analyze their effort in a certain way. Otherwise, what usually happens is they come up with a certain feature, and we estimate it, and then they mention that okay, but they were expecting certain other things in the feature that were not jotted down over there. So that takes a lot of time, and eventually we go in the time crunch that creates a lot of other issues like technical debt, etc.